Welcome back. And moving on to our first segment of today. As we mentioned in the beginning, we're talking about cooperation protocol that has been prepared between Sohag University and Egyptian Space Agency. And actually the cooperation protocol is on the implementation of training programs on cyber security for the youth. And definitely this is something of great importance. Let me say not only for youth, but to all of us to feel secure when it comes to the social media in general and using the IT in general. So we have this initiative, Be Secure program. We are going to discuss it in more details with the director of Sohag University, Dr. Ahmed Aziz Abdelmenam. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning, and thank you for inviting me.
Good morning, Dr. Aziz.
Good morning.
First of all, we need to know in detail, what about that protocol and the objectives of it?
Well, first of all, let me just say that as we all know that there is a booming now toward the communication and the technology transfer across the world. And this actually put pressure on the Egyptian government to move toward this. And as universities, we are producing hundreds of graduates moving toward the market. Sohag University is one of the universities in Egypt and responsible for graduating a number of staff and students to the market. This add pressure on our universities actually to do a lot of things aiming to raise the awareness of our students, our staff on cybersecurity and Internet of Things, and lots of actions to be made to secure our data and information. As you know, there is a lot of data transfer across the world now, and therefore the Sohag University has signed an agreement with the NTI, with the National Technology Institutes of Egypt, to train the staff and the students across the universities on cybersecurity and data protection, and internet protections, network protection, and all other action related to the internet and use of data transformation. This aims to first we've started with the training of almost 10 of our staff, and those students or graduates will supposed to train at least 100 of our graduates from the Faculty of Engineering and Faculty of Information and Communication in the university. This 100 staff will move toward the market and start to train staff in the market as well on cybersecurity and data transformation to save the quality of data, as you know, from the hackers and any sort of misusing of data. In addition to that, within this agreement, we'll start establishing a lab in our faculty of engineering. This lab contains also about 250 computers program and all the accessories within the lab to train the students and the staff in our faculty. We're expecting that by the end of the program we will have a large number of our graduates have the ability to train others on cybersecurity and MOI and most of the application related to the data security in our university.
So this definitely will make a big difference. I mean, one of the main challenges actually now is the hacking all around the when it comes to IT, and we see these people always updating themselves, and they are always aware of everything that's going on, and they get prepared as well on the other side to overcome any new technology that will appear to prevent or to protect the data on internet in general. So is this going to be available for all people? They can work on this, they can join this initiative. Tell us more about the technicality of this.
Yes, as you said, you're right. Actually, now there is a booming now towards hacking of data, and a lot of misuse of data is on the ground now.
And you can never make sure that whether it is correct or no. I mean, sometimes they're using very high technology,
sure,
and you are confused at the end of the day.
Yes, that's why we are training. We will put a lot of pressure and a lot of efforts on the training of our staff on how to protect the data. And with the different techniques of hacking, and as you know, every day there's a lot of hacking applications coming up, and this is why we have to work together with experts in training our staff, training our students, especially in engineering and computer science, on the different techniques and methodology of hacking. Actually, as you know, a lot of our university, if I'm speaking about university, we have a lot of data available on our internet and our storage services, and this need to be protected against any hacking or any sort of misusing data. And this is why we have a big strategy, actually, long-lasting strategy on upgrading the knowledge of our students and train them to do another TOT to others on how to protect the data and what they should do to protect their data on their computers and as well as on our computers system within the university. We have a lot of data like student data, like staff data, like workers data as well. We have a lot of services on the university, like all the banking and marketing of the university services across the internet. And with the NTI, with the National Technology Institute, actually supporting us in providing a TOT for our students. We have established this year faculty in Sohag University with the Faculty of Computer and Information. We started this year actually with 300 students. And we're working actually with those students. In addition to the Faculty of Engineering, we have the Department of Communication. They're responsible for training other students across the university. And we're expecting by the end of this program, which will last for 5 years, we will have a generation from the students and the graduates who are able to work in protecting the data when they got to the market and their jobs, and as well as their own information, as well as to support the university to protect the data of the university.
Right. There are possible dangers for hacking.
Yes.
And other misusage of the data on the internet and also the websites. Talk to us about the possible dangers of misusing the social network, and also how are you going to orient and raise awareness amongst students to be able to be alert when it comes to these possible dangers and to be able to handle them when they come around, something like that?
Yes, actually this is one of our strategy to extend the training program across the universities, across the whole number of students. We have a big center in our university, and provides a training for students from different faculties, along with others from the outsiders, like any graduates, anybody from outside the university can come and get the training in the university. And one part of the programs, we have actually different modules for training. One of them is the cybersecurity and data protection. And most of the activities are taken on the ground on this computer center, on the large computer center. It's providing a training for others in data security and how to improve the quality of data, as how to see the IBM of the computers, they can protect the data from the hacking, as long as building their capacity and their awareness on the misuse of data and how others they can misuse the data and what sort of data should be on their mobiles and in their personal computers, to protect this data from hacking and from the misuse of the data. Actually, we provide training for almost not less than 2,000 graduates per year from others. And coming up, actually, there is, as I said, there is a booming now towards the user computer. And we have also the Faculty of Engineering Communication Department who also provide training. They have a training center in the university. And this training center also provides services and training to the students and to the outsiders as well. On this side. Also, we started this year building a new IT, what we call it IT center, and this is with the Ministry of Communication, actually provides financial support to the center, and we expect in the next 2 months the Minister of Communication will come and open officially the center. And this center it will provide a service to the graduate, actually, not only the students, but will open to the graduate. They train them in communication and computer science, as well as the protection of the data, which is going to be one target, one important target of the center.
Well, let me ask you about another question. Not, it is part actually of the initiative, because I will put it just like a triangle. We have the user, we have the data, and of course we have the hacker. How can the user know that his whatever he is using, I mean the tool he is using, is being hacked? Is there a way to know this, or?
Well, in fact, it's very very difficult. But as you know,
is there a way out of this? I mean, can I know that my account is being hacked, for example?
Yes, you can know that, definitely. You can know that. We have some sort of application available also in the market, as available also with the computer. These softwares, you can use it to know when it's been, what data has been hacked, or who's is hacking the data. Actually, they're using different names and different.
So you're talking about a software that is available for anyone?
Yes, there's a software available.
Something that I pay for, or just I can download?
Some of them you can download, but it gives you sort of free. Short period of time you can use it, and after that you have to renew the license with money. Some of them the paid. Actually, we trust the paid software, because you have to have an original software for that, because some of software in the market as well. It's also there is a system of hacking even within those softwares. So you have to have programs which are licensed and well known, either in a mobile application or in a computer. Your personal
this can
computer.
confront the hacker. I mean, definitely the hacker knows this.
Yes, definitely.
So
and
definitely he's preparing himself,
yes,
just like the vaccine. I mean,
that's true. But in each time you have there is a new versions coming up, and each version they try to update the versions to ensure that you can trace the hackers and trace the data you are have been hacking. But also in other ways, there is other things to protect your data on the computers. There are a lot of action to be made. One of them is actually not to let the personal data, important data on the computer for some time, and you have to ensure who you are connecting to and what's program you are using. By these sort of things, you can protect the data in the computer.
Right, doctor. Are you raising these awareness campaigns or this particular awareness campaign only on your the premises of your university and with the graduates, but also looking forward to find or seek some other universities to cooperate with you and share this campaign, or it's only limited within the circles of your university?
Actually, we're working in three angles. One of them is working toward our university camp with our student, where we have using the facilities within our universities to work together, and we train the students in all the programs I said. And this is one angle. Mm-hmm. Other angle, we working with other institutes outside the university, like the National Technology Institute, which is run by the Ministry of Communication. Actually, they have very good applied research, and they have good labs in their institute, where we cover the academic part for our students, and they provide us with the training in their lab. This is another angle where we can combine between the academic science we are teaching our students and the applications they have in their labs. Actually, they have good models and some sort of applied research, really. So they can work together, and we have a protocol with NTI on the training of our students, as I said before. This is another angle, and the third angle we're working with among other universities. Like we have a program with the Egyptian Space Institute or agency. To work with them on the satellites production and the training on satellite techniques, and we cover we have 6 universities working in this program together, and each university is responsible for part of the program. As in our Sohag University, as example, we have the power system with a student from Faculty of Engineering. They developed the power system of the satellites. and other university, each university will responsible for one part of this research. So we combined the students together, and they come up with a model of a satellite. It's under supervision of the Egyptian Space Agency, and this is one way of building capacity of our communication, the students in communication department, to work together on how the satellites works and what sort of techniques are building on, and at the same time to know the knowledge, to know the knowledge about how satellites works, and build also their awareness and their capacity on the satellite system, and also they can, of course, later on they can find a job in the market and this sort of thing.
It is important as well because actually, Doctor, you mentioned the one precaution to secure our data. So can you give us some few tips for anyone who's watching, and maybe this is another important part, that we need to know how can we protect ourselves and how can we seek help?
Yes, first of all, don't try to open any site that is not really, you are not regularly used. Don't really follow any sort of misused announcement. Sometimes there's some sort of announcement which use the title of attract you to open.
That has nothing to
site.
do with the content, actually.
Yes, of course. And this is one thing. Thirdly, not try to put some sort of important data on your computer. Try to delete it as soon as you finish it. And try all the time to have some sort of software which can protect your data and give you some sort of knowledge of when and where your data are being hacked. And at the same time also try to stick to one sort of username or password. I mean, don't try to change your password frequently because this is one way of hacking can really trace your system and your computer. Actually, also there is a lot of experts who can give support. A lot of institutes they can train on how to secure the data and cybersecurity, and M2I and other sort of programs you can protect your data.
Right. All the time I've thought that changing my password is very effective and it's going to protect me from hacking.
Yes.
So is this information true? Because you just said that changing the password is...
Changing username is a problem. Yes, changing a password is okay. Once you try to change your password really... I mean,
frequently?
Yes, frequently try to change your password.
The content of the password in its own right is also helpful.
It's important. I mean,
there are some criteria
try to use the difficult numbers. Try to mix the numbers and the lowercase, uppercase digits. Try to use a complex.
But then you forget the password when it's so complicated.
It always happens, by the way.
But try to use something.
You are not raising any type of campaign that for people who forget their passwords and then
actually, only thing is you have to write it down somewhere.
But do we have a real cooperation between this initiative and the government? I mean, definitely we will need the help of the government as well, because we need some regulations, we need more laws. I know that we have a law, but we need more so as to protect us from hacking in general, and especially that I know it is very much related as well, the fourth war or the fourth generation war.
Yes.
And this is one of the main challenges actually that Egypt is facing now, right now. Maybe we have seen the awareness of the Egyptians, the awareness of the citizens of confronting rumors, and now they know what exactly how to confront everyone on his own. But again, we need more strict laws to protect us and to make anyone who might think of this just to be scared of doing this.
Yes, actually the law is there. I mean, we have laws available.
But it is not
actually.
that applied not on our side, I mean on the international side.
This is true, but actually what we're seeking for is to make a more rigid law for protecting data and for tracing some sources.
But I'm talking about the international law, not in Egypt. I mean, for example, if you have a famous social media and you can see people on this site, they are triggering tension, they are triggering terrorism or putting names of people to be killed or something. This is not allowed, for example.
Yes, actually, this is something the world has to work in it very strictly, actually. And because you have to remember that there is some of the companies, some of the organizations, they benefit a lot of this sort of thing. A lot of organizations, they pay a lot of money for this. And this is actually what we need for a law to protect this and to prevent this from happening. And the world have to work together in this. And as you know, we are now confronting the force war, and the force war is coming very strictly to affect us. And of course, we've seen during the last days how the rumors are affecting the community, and how even President Sisi had raised this in the last youth meeting. And this is why we have to consider this. As the universities, actually, we should play a better role in this. We have almost 500,000 students in our universities, and this is
you have the target.
Yes, we have to target, and this is why we have to work hard with our students to raise the awareness to know what sort of information they can rely on, and what is the source of information. At the same time, I believe that we have to face our students very frequently. We have to tell them the truth at once and very strict. I mean, not just let them speak and we come later on and just give them the right information. We have to have a good communication with our students and tell them the truth. And at the same time, we have to use as a people whose figures in the community, they can speak to the students about the truth. As the last meeting with the president, as we all know that according to the survey, 37% of the people, they get their information from the social media, which is very dangerous in this. Social media, they have different attitudes and different policies, and this is why we have to build capacity for our students and our community in general on what's right and what's wrong. And this should be done across globally, I mean across the country, not just university is one part. But also you have to look at consider this in the schools, in the primary schools, and I mean most of the pre-university education, as well as the university as well.
Right, Doctor, speaking about the fourth generation war and the new techniques of waging some hostilities in a totally different modern ways to dissect countries and destroy the national security and all these things that harm or destroy the economies and the policies of nations, there is the leaks.
Yes.
In spite of all these repercussions and in spite of all these campaigns, then you have the leaks, and we have the very famous WikiLeaks. Of course, the very sophisticated experts have taken all their measures, but still it happens. So how could that be regulated? Because it's very dangerous. Something, I mean, like the incident of WikiLeaks, for example. Of course there were measures, and of course there were those regulations.
Yes.
But it happened at the end of the day.
Yes, it happened, and actually it will happen, because, as I said, there's a lot of techniques coming up on leaking the information. And there is some of lot of
Or is it in a way, I'm sorry to interfere, but is it in a way politicized? I mean, those leaks are politicized
yes,
and somehow?
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of organizations, they have the plans actually to leak this information. They're looking for some sort of disturbance, some sort of making things happening in a way that, as I said, to destroy some countries. Actually, this is a problem, and this will happen, and this is why we have to put some measures to protect our community from this sort of misinformation.
I think it has to do with how fast We are actually, because everyone is fast on his side. The hacker is trying as much as he can on the other side. So definitely we hope that we can just follow with more techniques to protect our data and protect our national security.
Yeah, this is one
Right.
thing actually we should say, that we should not rely on just exporting this technology. We have to work, importing technology. We have to also work at exporting the technology. And this is where we have to work hard in our community and our universities and our institutes
Right.
to produce technology. This is the one way of stopping this to happen.
Right. Dr. Ahmed Aziz Abdelmenem, Director of Sohag University. It was a great pleasure having you with us for today.
Thank you very much. It's really, I'm very pleased with this meeting. Thank you very much. Thanks
Right. And still we have more to bring you on our breakfast show. But first, moving on to a quick break, then we will be back.